Good morning, America and the world. Today, I bring, a hopeful feeling. We got great things on the horizon. We have some butters and body balms that are on the way. True skin nutrients, not some fossil fuel based product. Nope, something that is completely friendly, even to delicate skin. Beautiful products, because that's what we want. Healing and nourishing products, though these statements have not been evaluated by the FDA, of course. And you guys saw how I was a little disturbed my last video. A lot of things are happening. I've been trying to fight the good fight for years, and it can be tough, you know. It can be tough, especially when you had a rough past, when you hung out with some rough characters, when you adopted some rough habits, and now you're just trying to preserve what's still useful with that, because being dangerous is helpful if it's to protect your own, but you gotta smooth out the edges a little. You don't want to scare folks. It's bad enough I'm walking through this big city with this big beard. People are finding big beards to be so foreign unless you're from a certain country or culture, you know which is crazy when people go to church and pray to a guy that kind of looks like me. you know And I say guy, I don't mean to demean, I understand, beliefs and stuff. And it's not that I don't believe. Although I have my own spiritual practice and my own, ideas. And like I always tell everyone, I'm not a devil worshiper. People, shamanism's the original religion, as far as we know, and it's more like a spiritual practice than anything. And yeah, like I said, we have great things on the horizon. The community keeps growing. We're getting ready to launch some projects to spread the good word, to spread the healing, to reinvigorate those who need to be reinvigorated, just like I am right now. Look, man, a few weeks ago, I wasn't feeling it. I wanted to check out, not kill myself, but I mean, check out, like, leave me alone for a few weeks. And sometimes you need to unplug. Sometimes you need to refresh. Okay. All right. Honestly, society places exceeding demands on most of us, and the payback is just not worth it for so many things anymore. You know, I hear a lot of talk in the unions that you just can't make a living in them anymore. People working, breaking their ass in construction, can't make a living anymore. Not enough work, not enough this, that. I've been through it, and it's just what it is. It's what it is. All right. We got to take care of our own, take care of our people. Okay. And God bless you all. That's my message for everyone today. Okay. I love you all. In that spiritual, we're all connected kind of love. Though on this plane, you do got to earn my trust and my love. All right. All right. We're not going to walk around all, I love everybody, or we're all from a oneness and all that. It doesn't work in this plane to walk around like that, especially in these big cities. You know, you know, nothing makes you feel more material and physical than the smell of some of the bums in the trains. Unfortunately, God, I pray for them. I feel bad. But that brings it right back to earth, man. That or just worrying that guy's trying, scoping you out, scouting you to see if you're a good mark for a mugging. Luckily people look at me and they're like, this guy looks a little nuts. So, uh, yeah. And other news: New York City's back to 1996 status with the snow, man. This is how it used to snow. You know, I'm not even gonna ask if it's HARP or DARPA or none of that stuff. I don't care. This is beautiful. All right. You know, And that's another thing that happens. You burn out. You burn out listening to the bad news in the world. Sometimes you just got to shut that all off. Even if it's somebody who's telling you the truth, sometimes it depends on how it affects you. I tell you, it makes me angry sometimes. Look what developed over the years from my anger. You know, and yeah, I let that anger carved into my face. You know, and a lot of it was conspiracy theories, which look, they're all coming true, man. We are ruled by reptilian, awful people who do terrible things, man. Terrible things. You know, I hear suffering in the distance. Tell you, all the honking, all the anxiety. It's hard for folks to unplug, and I have full empathy and compassion for them. I have empathy and compassion for the sickest of us, because there's no joy in living that way and to do terrible things and for it to compound over time as you get stuck in these ways that will continue to perpetuate bad experiences in life. And I say bad and all that, it's all bad until you can turn that into wisdom and you can grow from it. But I do believe that there is enough bad you can do where you can just lose your soul. You lose your soul and there's no coming back. And the world is probably ruled by people who just cannot come back, you know? And I don't believe every rich person's evil. I don't believe in eat the rich. I don't believe in that all the elites have the worst thing, in mind for us. And sometimes I wonder if they have no choice but to do this, maybe for some other higher order being that we just can't win. Maybe we lost some sort of war with aliens decades ago. I know it sounds crazy for a guy who just wants to be a healer and wants to make lotions and wants to coach people nutritionally and in life and spiritually, to be speaking about this stuff that may sound a little crazy and woo woo for some people. But look at the world we live in. We all know aliens are out there, man. Are they interdimensional? We don't know. Are they from another galaxy? We don't know. We've been lied to about everything. So at this point, all questions are on the damn table, and I love it. I love it with my investigative research qualities. I love it. Okay? It's a new age. I can say these things, and most people now won't look at me like I'm nuts the way they used to look at me 25 years ago or 20 years ago. When I was in high school and college. You know, it's a new age. And while it may seem dark, deceptive, and crazy and awful sometimes, if that's all you focus on, that's all you're going to feel. Okay? The only way to protect yourself is to commit yourself to good daily habits, keep yourself healthy, eat clean, put your body through some sort of exercise, to remind yourself that of the human being you are, to express your genetic traits to the fullest optimum capacity. And then get off these devices. Look, I'm using one right now as a tool, and I do fall. I'm not gonna lie, I fly off the handle sometimes with these things. It's hard not to get, and then you justify it. I justify it because I watch intelligent stuff, right? But how intelligent are you gonna be if you're not gonna apply these skills, huh? Don't get stuck in here. Don't get stuck in here. You watch this, let this put a torch under your ass to get you moving, motivated, and ready to pursue your happiness, okay? But don't get stuck here. And on that note, Rebel Shaman out. Much love and have a great day. Enjoy this. Enjoy this.